What's good, sports fans out there? Here is another coming to you Hoop Dreams podcast, where we're giving you our take on what has been happening in the basketball community. If you all don't know, Hoop Dreams is a culture. You all are part of that culture. We are glad that you guys are here. I'm Will Gates. That's my dog.
Arthur Agee in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agee, listen, man, there's so much going on in the sports world. Again, as always, I'm loving this because right now, the USA men's basketball team has been tested. The women's basketball team, yes, sir. The women's basketball team, they got defeated at the WNBA All-Stars. I think they came to show them that, hey, y'all maybe made some bad decisions on who should have been on that team. And finally, man, KD is coming back to the USA men's team. Will that change the outlook for the team? And finally, we want to hit you all with this. ESPN has just put out their top 100 players since the year 2000. And on that list, 24 are men and women combined to make the list. And we're just going to jump into that and see how, if you our take on it, who was missed on that list. And those lists are always tough to me, man. But let's just jump into, man, this USA basketball team. They went out to South Sudan. They out there playing. They had a 45-point, literally, the batters in Vegas and everywhere said they're going to win this game by at least, that's bare minimum, 45 points. And it took some heroics of Captain America. That's what they're calling him now. Captain America, King James. And I just got to say this, AG. I don't know what that dude taking, but I want some. I mean, this.
Hey, man. The boy body is just, it ages backwards.
He's straight up doing a Benjamin Button right now, because when he was 17, we thought he was 40. So,
hey, dog, the thing went like this, where he looked up at the clock and said, oh, shit, we down. Oh, they need me. Let me turn into Captain America. Let me take this one. Let me take this one.
What can you say? I mean, the reality is this dude is just that great. So the question becomes now, man, with Team USA being challenged the way that they challenged, have you changed your stance on your outlook for this team?
I haven't changed my stance. I still think they should be world beaters. Different, setting aside the dream team of how they thoroughly beat people by 30-some points and all that. I would assume that they would have that same type of mentality. But, you got the world has caught up to us in basketball. These guys is way much better now. Sudan came out and tested these boys, man, really. And I think USA walked in there, was like, hey, we got USA on our chest. They just lost a little focus. You know what I'm saying? They thinking that, just because they step on the floor, that other countries are going to be scared. And I'm glad Sudan tested the hell out of these boys. Because I ain't want to see no 30 blowout. I wasn't able to watch the game anyway. We had our high school reunion picnic, but, man, I got home and saw those highlights, and I was like, I just had to sit back in my seat, Will, like, damn, they came out like that.
Well, I want to throw a curveball at you. I keep hearing this talk that the world is caught up with USA basketball. So I want to take it back to 92, man, the Dream Team. Does that mean then the original Dream Team, we just caught the world by surprise? Because I'm saying, was the Dream Team then really that dominant? Or did we just catch the world by surprise? Because if you think about it, we're still supposed to have the best players in the world. You look at the way as this team is currently constructed. You got LeBron, you got AD, you got Kevin Durant, you got Devin Booker, you got Steph Curry, you got Ant-Man. I can just go on and on. You got champions on this team. Yeah. Why aren't we blowing out teams by 20 and 30 points? Has the world made that kind of strive that we're not that dominant anymore?
Well, if you think about it, Will, in 92, we had maybe a handful of international players that was playing in the NBA at that time, and they was able to hold their own, but the world hadn't really accepted basketball into their countries like that. And where little kids start playing it like Giannis and them and all those guys now. So I think it's a two-part, we caught them by surprise, but our players was astronomically better than all of their players. Now, because the game has been so globally accepted and marketed and, pushed that way, we play games over there. I think this, kids now growing up overseas, like, man, I want to play basketball. I don't want to play soccer or football, what they call it. They want to play basketball now because they see it's a more not an easier path, but how they're taught over there, they can, if they master that skill and that mindset, they're able to come over to the States and change their families' lives.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth. Are you saying that they're getting better and we're not getting better? Because if we're the best in the world, if we're still leading the charge, if we're still the catalyst, shouldn't we be getting better too? Shouldn't there still be a sizable gap in competition? We shouldn't be winning games by 1 point.
Well, I mean, Will, that's it's not a tough question, but I think with social media and just the new superstars that we have over there representing us, it's a chemistry thing, and I think what the Dream Team had, most of them guys, that we saw they got all their chemistry out of Monaco when they went at each other. You know what I'm saying? When they was like, okay, we done beat on each other ass and all that. Now we can get together and go over here and tear some people apart, which they did. But I think these guys, these new superstars, all coming together, they egos, they brands, and how many minutes I'm gonna play and who I'm gonna bag up. I think all that plays a role, into them gelling, into saying, hey, we need to be beating these teams by at least 20 or more.
But I gotta come at you on that too. I've been hearing that word a lot too. They haven't played with each other. They haven't gelled. I mean, let's be honest. These are NBA All-Stars. These dudes play with each other every summer. It's not like they don't know each other. Like, they know everybody's tendency. Steph Curry, he step on the floor, what he can do. You know what Kevin Durant can do. You know what LeBron can do. And then I'm going to throw this on top of all of that. The first Dream Team, one thing I used to always hear people say, they got 12, well, really 11 Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers.
This team has nothing but Hall of Famers on it. This is going to be, bar something stratospheric happening, some major crisis, everybody on this team will be a Hall of Famer on some level.
Yeah, you're right. At some point in it, when they get through done, you're right. They will be a Hall of Famer.